Good morning, you guys. So, I have quite a bit to say today, and none of it probably is going to amount to a hill of beans, but first of all, the camera is right in my face, and it's a no makeup day, so just love me in my truest form of I woke up like this. And I have quite a bit to say. I'm excited to kind of have this conversation because it's something that I'm not saying I don't put thought into all of my videos, but sometimes I feel like some of them, I try to put a little thought into anything I video. But this is a video that just as I was driving, I received a text message and it was very complimentary, and I kind of pondered on it when I stopped and got coffee. I made a post on my Tara Michelle Sanders page, which is my personal page, and I want for everybody watching this video to know right off the bat, if you think that you're missing my videos and you're like, Tara, where have you been? Please go and like and follow Tara Michelle Sanders. It's a Facebook page. I have right almost at 58,000. It's like 57,500. I would like to get that page to 100,000 followers. So please follow me, like me, follow me over there. That is my personal kind of like Facebook. I no longer use my personal Facebooks. I just use my business fan page, whatever. Because the experience for me is so much different. When I log on to my Facebook fan page, my news feed is only other pages. So it's not really people's opinions. It's not really gossip. It's not really everybody's highlight reel of how much better their life is than mine. What it is it's other businesses that I have chose to follow. And if you go to my page and you click the following section, I just want to encourage you to look through who I follow and maybe do the same. I follow a lot of metaphysical sites. I follow a lot of natural horsemanship trainers, probably 20. I follow about 50 people that are light workers or do Reiki, and they're very positive, high vibrational. So when I log on to Facebook now, I look forward to it. I have never been more excited than I have been in the last 2 weeks since I discovered that I can log into Facebook as my Facebook business page and not my Facebook itself. And my news feed is fire. It's fire. It's literally fire. And I don't see anything except for what I follow. I don't see people's groups. I don't see bullshit. So I just want to encourage you to start hiding everything on Facebook that doesn't serve you. You don't have to unadd people, but like if somebody posts stuff constantly and it irritates you, you don't have to unadd them so there's no drama. I just encourage you to hide them. You can go at the top right hand corner, slide down and hit hide all posts from this user. And it's just such a freeing experience to know there's no drama. They don't know that you hid them, but you never see what they say again. And I have had people that don't like me often say, that I try to silence my haters. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have any desire to silence anybody. You can absolutely, without anybody's approval, hate me all you want. It is absolutely fine. But what I do get to control is the environment around me. And so while you feel silenced, it's because you don't deserve to get to have a voice in my space. And so what I've done by having somebody that moderates my page for me, I never see the comments. I have not seen anything except for a couple of screenshots here and there of like ugly things that are said. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's been very freeing. And then to only log in as my business page and to only see the things that I personally have chose to follow, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I will tell you that I think that you can go in and edit the settings on your newsfeed just as an individual. Try to go in and go to the pages that you love, like find metaphysical teachers, find people that have, if you're spiritual in any way, whether it be Christianity, whatever your preferences are, go find people that post very positive things. Like go find positive people, positive things, and follow them and hit see first. Just, you want to see first. And I'm telling you, when you start taking control of what you see every day, it is incredible how much higher you will vibrate. I don't care if you're 25 or 65, do it. Even I had people, oh, well, that's for the, no, like, if you're 65 years old and you get on Facebook, girl, get on there and control what you see. Control it. Because I'm going to tell you that life is almost 100% perception. I've started to learn that it is not what anybody else, it's literally, it's your perception. He needs a bath. Tequila. I do love her. I don't know why we're in the arena, but I'm okay with it. She needs to just be rode around. Okay, you guys, so listen to me here. So listen. Now that I'm stopped, I'm going to delve into something. Now then, I have received compliments that the first time it happened, I thought it was a slap in the face. And I was like, that was a very backhanded thing to say. Then somebody else said it. Then I had a third person say it. How do you like her?
She's not very bright.
She's not.
No. And she got.
Yeah, she's only 2. She's literally just 2. So let's. Yeah, she's just a 2-year-old. Hey, you said you didn't have gas yesterday. I sent your paycheck Sunday. Did your aunt give it to you? That's fine. No excuse needed. That's fine. Just, you do have it. Okay, she just said you didn't have gas yesterday to come to work.
He walked today.
Okay, well, don't do that. Just call Tylen. He will zip right. He can come down in the gator and get you. It's no problem. You're 1 mile. How was everything yesterday? Just this or this? Okay, I'm live. So, perfect. Well, did you inform him that you have a place? Okay, I'm live. Go ahead, but I just want to make you're okay. Do you need anything from me? Okay. When he comes back Thursday, is it going to be okay, or do you think you're going to need somewhere? You don't know yet. Okay. Well, if you need somewhere, just if you think you're going to need somewhere, let me know, because Emma's bedroom at my house, she's been staying here anyway. We can start to get ready for you. Did you tell your brother also? How is he? Okay. All right. So anyway, just have a little situation on our hands. No problem. I just need the do-gooders to maybe inbox me, because star party. Okay, you guys, send stars. Listen, if any of you guys know that I have some young kids that come down, and they have for a couple of years, and they have a situation, hey, I need the do-gooders to maybe rally around. We need to maybe do a little something. I don't know if I need to get an attorney. I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe we should start a do-gooders chat again. Some things just aren't meant to be public, and I've got to remind myself that all the time. How many fucking mains have you cut today?
All of them!
All of them!
The fuck out of her bridal path, it is great!
Yeah.
No, it was actually like that.
Brody literally, whose bridal path? Oh yeah, the man.
That baby.
Brody probably needs a bath.
Oh yeah.
Just have Emma when she gets off tequila. Let's give. Did she ride him? I'm live, so
Oh.
no worries.
I love that little mare. But
Which
I don't
little
think
mare?
The one I just got off of, that little 3-year-old that had the 90 days, that little Bay Roan.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's much broker than what she looked like in the video, but Emma was a little afraid because of her age. But that I tried to say.
She does kind of want to be like, no, I really.
A 3-year-old
don't know
that's had a 3-year-old that had no time.
Wheelbarrow got broken. It got taken over there, and also.
Okay, before you.
I am live. Can y'all give me the problems of the world later? I love all of you.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go grab.
Go.
$7.50.
Perfect. Yeah.
Back out.
The lady just Tylen already has been paid. Make him split it with you. She paid $50 for photos, videos, whatever. Just tell Tylen. Tylen!
I was gonna say you better do that.
I will. God.
Sorry.
Sorry, you guys. I swear to you. No, it's okay. Tylen!
out there and get going.
Okay, just...
He went out to go wash.
It's fine. I should have just... The lady is going to send you $50 to do $750. Split it with Jackie.
$750. Who's $750?
It's exactly why she should have paid Jackie and not you. It's no problem. Let's just make sure that Jackie... She said that she just had your number from another one or something, and she was going to pay $50, but Jackie has the horse. She's already started doing what I've asked. Bumping out, ring, ring, ring. Hi, Phil. The trap is jumping and everything is ring, ring, ringing. Ah.
Oh, I just want to show you this real quick. So she still.
It still looks better. You can ride her. I'm. Good morning. So we literally have a star party that has 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Please send stars because we just completed 1 star streak and got our $200 bonus. And this is actually star party 2 towards our next star streak. And we need to take Zuck's box. Come on, you guys. As you can see, I arrive and it's like chaos. It's like my intern is like, can you see this? Look at this. Jackie's like, see this? Look at this. Tylen's like, see this? Look at this. My wheelbarrow's broken. They broke my wheelbarrow. And then Dalton is just trying to live his best life. And I'm just like, I'm bumping up. Ring, ring, ringing. So, woo. So in real life, this is what day-to-day is like. And so about the backhanded compliments. So Jacob started going to Kelowna, Iowa about 3 years ago buying. We still have a buyer that buys there. I get some drafts in and out of there, but I have a contract with a couple of carriage companies. So most of what we buy and stuff kind of goes somewhere. But I've decided to start doing things a little differently. I literally have to pee, so I'm going to pull to my office. Anyway, the lady that co-owns it and runs it very, very forwardly said about the 5th or 6th time that Jacob went there, I was there, and she said, I just want you guys to know that everything I heard about you is just not true, and I want you to know that it's been a great experience, and like y'all are so professional. And I thought it was like such a slap in the face. I was like, what do you mean everything you've heard of? No, I'm the kind of person that like if you talk shit about me or if you entertain stuff that's talked about me. So as we left there, Jacob had to remind me, listen, she's heard bad things about us and she still welcomed us and learned for herself, Tara. So like, don't be angry that she complimented us. Like, take the compliment. And I have had to train my brain, just so you guys know. I have had to train my brain to not only hear the negative, because all I heard there is people talk bad about you. That's all I heard. I didn't hear the compliment of, hey, I had heard some things, people talk, you know, and I want you guys to know like how professional you conduct yourself, and like it's been a great experience, and like thank you for coming to our sale. I mean, Jacob's buying 30 or 40 horses, and you know, we're paying in cash, and Jacob goes and buys, and I went with Tinley a couple of times, and like we just got to where we really liked them and they really like us. So let's fast forward. Like Jacob makes all the Louisiana sales, a couple of Texas sales, so Jacob goes to Hutch, Kansas one time, same thing. They pull him aside after the sale and just tell him like, hey, you're a good buyer. You're quiet. You know, like you pay attention to the auctioneer. You don't mouth off. You're no drama. Like you don't pay attention to anybody else. Like, hey, thank you. But again, all I heard is, hey, they must have heard something bad about us. But you know what? Again, they still welcomed us. They still, I mean, obviously I'm bonded through P&S. So Packers and Stockyards. And I have all of my, you know, I have to have it to ship horses to slaughter. So, you know, we've got all of our proper paperwork with P&S. So they kind of have to, speaking of which, I need to get Jacob to fill out this thing. Just so you guys know, every year you get a thing from P&S that just people ask all the time. So this is my market report. It is literally instructions to complete annual report of a dealer market agent buying or market agent buying on commission. So what this is my USDA stuff. So for those who are always like, they don't have a contract. First of all, you don't have to have a contract to ship to slaughter. You just have to have your PNS, everything, if you want to ship them directly across the border, privately owned or for slaughter. It doesn't matter. If you start selling horses in volume across the border, you have to have all of your packers and stockyards USDA bullshit. So, there's always been rumors online that we don't have ours. It's just that people always look for Tara Sanders or Jacob Thompson, and we have a limited liability company. But let me fast forward. So Hutch was same thing, like, wow, like, you're so professional. Jacob goes to a couple of other sales, kind of the same thing. So we started going to Billings about 1.5 years ago. I guess it's been a year. It's been over a year. So it's been like 1.5 years. And when Jacob first went up there, you know, people wanted to talk, like, he's got a felony and his wife is a hothead and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, people, first of all, you have to remember that people that buy at the same sales that we buy at, we are competition for them. So there's two kind of types of buyers. There's like big buyers, there's like middle buyers, and low end buyers. And then you have people like Jacob and Mitch, and you have others, Justin Knowles, and they buy everything. I mean, they're going to buy horses. That's it. They're going to buy horses. They're going to buy whatever comes through that suits their fancy. It doesn't matter if it's a killer, if it's a trader, or if it's a high-end sucker that's going to make the women in their life happy. Like, they're going to buy it all. So moving from just kill horses to kill horses and kind of middle-class traders, those middle-class traders, it's a really dog-fight, dog-eat-dog world. It's a very complex industry, and the more complex it is, the more I realize how women on social media who spout off about slaughter and spout off about how much they know, and they go to sales and they watch the sales, they know nothing. Until you go to sales all the time and you make tons of sell barns, you have no idea what you're talking about, because horse trading is the most complex industry in the world. I have had conversations in the last year at tables of doctors. I live in a medical community. I'm one of the few people there that's not a doctor or a nurse. I live kind of in a bougie, and I surround myself with people that are my neighbors. We have lunch and dinner together, and I chose to do this for my own well-being, so that I am never the smartest person at the table, and I'm never the richest person at the table. And the reason that I surround myself by those kind of people is because you don't know what you don't know. And if you surround yourself by people that are not doing better than you, and you feel like, and I did this for a while, like, I wanted to be like, I call it King Dick syndrome. That's like such a horrible name, but like, I wanted to sit at the table to where I made the most money, and it was just a trauma response. And I want to explain to you guys that it's so important to start understanding the flaws that you have within yourself so that you can actually address them, period. And a flaw in me was that I was raised really poor. I desperately didn't want to be poor. Somebody last night that I was talking to was like, we call it coming out of the mud. And I'm like, yes, I wanted out of the mud. Like, I wanted out of the trailer park. I was going to do it by any means necessary. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a much better person now that I have money than when I didn't have money. I was a shit human being. I was miserable. I didn't have any self-esteem. No matter how pretty or skinny or whatever I was, I never felt like I was good enough because I was always broke. And I had the ideology in my head that your financial situation, because you go to high school with girls and with boys, that they get a brand new vehicle when they turn 16. And, you know, I had a boyfriend in high school that his parents had money, and all the girls wanted to date him because he had money. So, and I don't know. I mean, just somehow we get trained at a young age into believing that I wasted a lot of time in high school working 2 jobs and being the GOAT. I mean, I was the greatest of all time work ethic wise. I ended up working for my dad, Hartman, and also at Hooters, and would literally balance to where I started being a hostess at 16 years old at Hooters because I was pretty, and I don't know how the fuck I was going to get out of the trailer park, but like, I wasn't staying there. And people don't understand that struggle. And here's the thing, some people are raised with not a lot and they're comfortable with that, and they don't understand that struggle. For me, I just wanted out of the trailer park. Like, if I had kids, I remember when I was young, I was like, if I have kids, And it was always if, not when. It was like, if I have kids, I never want them to feel inferior to the other kids. Like, when we moved to Oklahoma from El Paso, in El Paso, I grew up in an area where everybody kind of didn't have a lot. And I went to a big school, so I didn't see it as much. But when we moved to Oklahoma, there was a very clear difference between the poor kids and the rich kids. Like, there was a very distinct, like, these were the cowboys and the farmers, and they did ag. And these were the cheerleaders and the football players, and most of them had really bougie stuff. And I remember distinctively, and trust me, all of this turns into something. So just, I distinctively remember like having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, yeah, he said you were cute, but you wear Walmart clothes. And it was like the moment. It was like the moment that like I went home and was like, I have got to have another job. Like, I can't afford anything else. My parents were not buying my clothes, and I would work at the barn and ruin stuff. I would just work at the barn and ruin stuff. So I would just like go buy packs of t-shirts, and like, and I remember like going to Hooters, driving up there and like applying, and I got a hostess job. And I asked them like, okay, so this is all it pays. Like, and it was more than minimum wage. Being a hostess at Hooters paid more than minimum wage. So I was like, okay, but still, like, for, you know, I was pulling mains and making extra money. I was pulling mains for my dad. I would pony, gallop, whatever. But my dad often didn't really have the money to pay me. So I was like working my ass off for my dad for free. And then I would go to Hartman's and pull mains, help take pictures, ride horses, clean stalls. And I was making money, but I mean, you know, it was enough money that I could have money just to be able to put gas in my truck, those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot for a kid. But at this point, I'm 16, and like, I need to buy Abercrombie and Fitch, and it's fucking expensive. And like, one pair of jeans and a shirt is my whole week's paycheck at Hartman's. So I started hostessing from 8 to 10:30, Thursday through Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and then Sunday, noon to 5. And it paid like $8.25 an hour, which back in 2004, two or three, was more than minimum wage. So I started doing that, and then I could get tip share, which meant like if we sold calendars. So what I would do is I would sit everyone down, and then I would go table to table. My managers loved me. I would go table to table with calendars and just be like, hey, you guys, don't forget that the new calendar is out, and if you decide that you want one, we can just add that to your tab. Let me know, and I can let your waitress know. I would sell so many fucking calendars, because at the end of the night, whatever the total sales were, their system automatically tip shares out based on overall sales, like gross sales. And I literally would go table to table and be like, hey, but by the way, I'm here. If you want a calendar, we can add it to your beer. And I noticed your beer are you going to have another? And they would be like, oh, I mean, I'm underage and I do not give a fuck. I would be like, Savannah, he needs another beer. You want another beer, right? Like, I would hustle. I'm telling you, my managers used to tell me that I was like the hustler. They were like, we don't know what you're going to do for a living, but whatever it is, you are going to be a fucking rock star, because like most hostesses just stand at the door and like get their $8.25. And I'm like, no, I need fucking tip share, man. Like, I've got to buy clothes because I'm broke. And the guy I like said he didn't really like me because I wear Walmart clothes. So this bitch is literally needing a paycheck so I can. And I just never wanted to be broke. This is me being as true as I can be to you guys. So from a young age, you start having the idea that you just need to make money so that you are not, broke. So you're not poor. So anyway, now that I'm 35, obviously I start to value friendships over money, the way you treat people. But it took a very long time, probably the majority of my 20s and maybe into my 30s, to learn that how much money I make does not, like, at the end of the day, while it might be important to me, it is not the most important factor of who I am. What I want to know is, when people walk away from me that meet me in person, okay, how did I make them feel about themselves? So let me fast forward to So then Jacob starts going to Billings, and all of this ties in. And, you know, I've started to surround myself by people that have a lot, and, you know, people that have a different mindset. And I've learned there's two kinds of people. There are people that allow their wealth to dictate who they are. That means that they think that since they have money, that's all that matters, and that you should respect them, and they don't have to have good character. And then there's people out there that happen to have good money, a great work ethic, and they wanted to make money so they could do more with it. Like, I have a neighbor who's 58 years old. Absolutely love him. All of his kids are in college, and they're all going to school to be doctors. No, I didn't meet Jacob till I was 25. So let's fast forward to back to my story. So he is fantastic. I have lunch and dinner with him every once in a while, and he's like learning how to navigate being single in his almost 60s. And anyway, I keep telling him, you need to just have fun. Like, it's a great friendship. But the one thing is I asked him one time, I said, you know, you're a doctor, and obviously doctors make okay money, but like, what made you be a doctor in the beginning? And he said it was the money. Like, I had this idea that I needed to be a doctor because my mom and dad were so poor, and him and I can relate on that level. And I'm like, at 58, why are you a doctor? And he said, for the money. And I said, yeah, is it that bad? And he said, you know, he said, I've made a difference in a lot of lives. He was like, but the public have made it hard. He was like, you have to remember that you can. He said, I remember the first time I lost somebody. He works in the emergency room, by the way. And he's like, I don't know. And him and I can, like, we trauma bond on the fact that I feel often like the horses, if I don't do right by them, if I can't do right, they're going to go to slaughter. I have to save them. It's my own version of the same kind of, it's like the same kind of trauma, but different. I hope that makes sense. So as we got to talking, and I said, you know, that's funny. I said, I started just doing anything for money. I said, but what I do, ironically, I started doing because I just couldn't stomach the horses going to slaughter. I needed to help them. And he said, oh, that's what keeps me a doctor. And I said, he said, yeah. He's like, I have a million times, you know, I've invested, my kids are grown. And he's like, but he's got OCD. And he's like, what keeps me a doctor is the emotional trapment of I'm needed. I'm needed. I'm needed. I'm needed. I'm really needed. I'm needed. I'm needed. And I laughed and I said, I have wanted to walk away from what I'm doing a million times. And every time I try to, all I can think is the horses need me. They need me. They need me. They need me. So it's funny how we both started out just really wanting to come out of the mud and to be more. Okay? Like, we wanted to be more than broke because we wanted to be respected. We wanted for people to know our name. We wanted to leave an impression. But we both took lines of work in the stage to where he's at the ER. I'm trading horses. But all of a sudden you start to find that, like, the monetary side of this is not what keeps you there. Like, you can laugh and say, I do it for the money. I do it for the money. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I do it for the horses. But as I've started to surround myself by people, I can now tell you, I have to remember I love the horses. I do it for the horses. But at the same time, the public has slammed me for a decade to the point that I have had to pick my name up out of the mud. I've had to come out of the mud over and over and over again and wash my name off and stand proud in who I am, regardless of what people say. And that is a hard thing to do. And he said, it's no different than when somebody's 18-year-old son overdoses on heroin and you can't bring them back from the dead. He was like, I can't tell you how many parents have screamed and hollered at me that I didn't do enough. And he's like, you just have to remember that that's what's going on inside of them. And he said, people that make a mess online, people that make a mess in the ER, people that are messy have a messy life behind closed doors. You just don't see that part because you don't go home with them. So the biggest thing that I keep telling myself when I see people who talk about me online is, That is exactly who they are. That is exactly who that person is. That is who they are. I believe them, and their life offline is a shit show. And you don't have to wonder about that. It is the absolute truth. It is the absolute truth. So what's funny is I started having these backhanded compliments from all of these sell barns about how when we are in person, how we conduct ourselves so professionally that they're shocked. So Jacob goes to Atala, and we get the same compliment. Like, first of all, Mitch and Jacob and I have all made amends. We've never been to any of the Stanley sells, but I made amends. I apologized. We had a really good conversation. We've all grown, you know, it is what it is. And we've had the conversation about we're all just trying to make a living for our family. We all just are in the same industry. And it's getting better for Jacob because now when he goes to sales, there's not a lot of chatter. People know when we show up, we pay, and it just takes time. It takes time for people to realize, like, hey, these people really have come out of the mud and, like, they've overcome whatever. And that's great. But I got the same compliments. I got several compliments from people that said there were horses broker than some of yours. Because I sent horses that were good, solid, sound horses, and I was honest about where they were. And you know, Les was not quite really one hand fancy broke, but he was ready for a good job. Trucker was not one hand fancy broke, but he was ready for a good job. But my horses looked so much better than everyone else's that my horses brought as much as horses that were equally probably better broke. And the reason for that is because of Jacob was kind. He answered questions. People felt like what they were looking at, we were so honest about it. They didn't feel like, the thing about it is the guy that bought Donnie said, I know exactly what I bought. He said, I was willing to take the risk at $8,500 because I know exactly what I bought. You were so forthcoming. This horse is at a great place to take on from here. He even rode him. He rode him there in person. He's not afraid of him. Tylen actually did the trail course after, and if you go back and watch the live feed, they even said, listen, he did the entire trail course on this horse. They told Tylen, had he entered the competition, he more than likely would have won it on Donnie. You can go back and watch the live feed of the sale. They announced that, and they told Tylen and Jacob, y'all should have entered that horse. He would have won the trail competition. So Donnie has come so far. People lost their mind online that a horse that we had brought $8,500 that was such a bronc when we got him. But you have to remember that not everybody's afraid of a buck. Not everybody's afraid of that. There are so many people out there that start colts that have had a rogue colt that ended up the best horse they ever owned, and they know that it takes consistency, desensitizing, and training. And we need to normalize that what you see when they first get here is not a direct reflection of that horse. It is literally a direct reflection of whose hands they were in prior to coming here. So Donnie's actions were not a reflection of Donnie. Donnie's actions were a reflection of the chaos created by the home he had prior to here. It's the same thing as children that go to school. You see children that go to school in complete chaos, and it's because there's chaos at home. You see people that create chaos on social media that attack people like me that don't listen to anything I say but try to pick it apart, try to absolutely box me to the ground, try to tear me down. Listen, that is a direct reflection of what they have going on at home. But the biggest compliments I've had lately is that in person, my horses look better than everyone else's, and that Jacob and I both conduct ourselves in person in such a professional manner. And my horses bring really good money in person because people, once they talk to us and I tell them, hey, when I bought the horse, this is the sketchy history I had, but I've had the horse for 90 days. This is what I know. Would you like to ride it? The horse is guaranteed sound. I offer the 5-day guarantee. They know that I will stand behind those horses. They know that those horses are exactly what I say, and that those horses have really been worked with, and that my staff is above and beyond. And what is amazing is I'm now hiring people that meet my standards instead of hiring people that I was trying to bring out of the mud. I'm sorry. I just can't do it anymore. I tried to bring people out of the mud, and what I learned is they were in the mud and it was messy because they are messy individuals. And I can say that because it's my trauma. Those experiences happened to me. I've hired people that were working for me and making drama out of everything for attention. it's been a lot for me. And I've now learned I have to hire people that have got themselves out of the mud. It's not my responsibility. Nobody got me out of the mud. Not even my own parents. Not even my own parents. And sometimes I would like to talk about my childhood traumas and things like that, but like, my parents are still alive. I love them. And I absolutely respect both of them more than you would ever know, because my parents did the very best with what they knew. But I can tell you that there's a lot more to know than what I was taught. And I'm just grateful I can show my daughter that. And I hope my daughter is better than me, and that we can continue to crush generational curses, that we can continue to do better for the next generation. I want my child's children to know a completely different life than the one I was raised in. And I just hope that I continue to put better out there. And I hope that if any of you ever need to just stop and like you need advice, listen, I've overcome it all. I've had people drag me through the mud. I've had people talk terrible about me. I've had the most untrue things in the world said about me. And people blindly believe it because it was said on the internet. And at the end of the day, I didn't deserve any of that. But I can tell you it made me a better person. And I'm not, in this point in my life, I'm not damaged by it anymore. Like, I'm not damaged goods. I'm starting to be whole. But hey, I stepped up and surrounded myself by a much better quality person who build me up, remind me that I'm not my past, that remind me I'm not what people say about me, people who literally breathe life into me every day and tell me that I am a queen, as I should. I mean, I went and got a massage yesterday and had Reiki work done, and it was whatever. And literally 2 people, I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that because I've got a massage, I've got Reiki work, and then I'm going for a massage. And they were like, as you should, queen, as you should. And listen, that's a whole different kind of spiritual help when you have people that value you and make you value you. And I want you to know, clean up your news feed, hide the people that don't serve you, start following anybody and everything that you can find out there that's positive. If you can resonate with what they post, follow them. Put see first, so that when you get on social media, what you see is memes and sayings and inspirational quotes, and you don't see the messy. You don't see people. I don't even post people. I hide people that constantly make, like, if somebody posts something and I'm like, and it sparks something inside of me, I'm like, I need to hide this person for whatever reason. And then I sit with myself and I want to know, okay, what made me feel that way? Is it that I need to do a better job? Am I not doing enough? Like, if that person, or is it just that, like, reflect, like, what made that spark? And listen, if it's not coming from within you, like it's not a jealousy thing, or it's not coming from within you, it's okay to hide them, because they're just messy and you don't need that mess. Get out of the mud. Come up out of the mud. That was the best thing in so many ways. And like, it was actually the guy that won the saddle. I reached out to him and like, I said, hey, will you call me? I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit late, but you won the saddle. I need to explain to you how to get the gift card, whatever. Here's Matt's number. And like, in the conversation, he was like, yeah, he's like, I don't really know a lot about you, but like, I've kind of seen your place and, you know, I was intrigued. And I'm like, thank you. And I was like, it's been a lot of work. So we get to talking just a little bit. And in that conversation, he said, yeah, we call that coming up out of the mud. And I was like, light bulb. That is the best saying I've ever heard. And trust me, I had to literally pull myself out of the mud. Nobody did that for me. And I want for you guys to normalize. Stop trying to help people that are submerged in the mud and don't want out. Yes, once I got to the bank and started like really pulling myself, I got a couple of hands up. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, when people are just in the middle of the mud being a pig, leave them. Leave them. Let them be messy. Let them be messy. Let them sit in the mud. Block them, hide them, and do not let them pull you back into the mud. Do not let them pull you back in the mud. So this was kind of all over the place. But I will tell you that I hope that it serves some of you today in a way that you took something away from it. I post videos like this on the Tara Michelle Sanders page. I try to only use the JT Livestock page for the horses, just as a courtesy to people that don't want to hear me talk. So I want you to know, if you love to hear me talk, you need to go to Tara Michelle Sanders, like and follow that page. Make sure you turn on notifications for See First. I post lots of non-horse content over there. I tell people over there who say mean shit like, I don't want to hear you talk. Shut your mouth. I only want to see the horses. You talk too much. Listen. Go to JT Livestock Company. It's just the horses. But this conversation needed to be had. I love you guys. Make sure you follow me on Tara Michelle Sanders if you want to see everything. Horses, positive talk, all the stuff and things. Stay here if you just want to see the horses. Stay here anyway. This is my business page and it's monetized. I need you guys to like, follow, love. Make sure that you hit Heather up. She's starting a new chat called the Super Secret Do-Gooders, and it's going to be one that we personally do, and we're going to post things in there that horses that need help, things behind the scenes. So I would love to have 100 people in that chat. It would be fantastic, but it is not a chat group to chat. It is just to talk about things that are needed. So here's the thing about it. Jacob and I have never, since I've been around, been in with the Stanleys. Jacob used to buy horses for slaughter for the Stanleys, and that's who he sold. Every horse Jacob and his family bought went directly to the Stanleys for slaughter. When I came into the picture and I said, hey, we're not going to do this anymore, I want to rehome them. It was actually Greg, not Mitch, who said, it's all or nothing. You're not going to ride through them and rehome some of them. You're going to sell them to us all or nothing. So at that point, it left the horses all on us. It left it all on me. Jacob was pissed. He was like, they're paying me money to buy these horses. I order buy on commission for them. Like, it pays a lot of times my meals, my gas. Like, I make enough money off of buying horses. So then it created some rift for Jacob and I. And then what ended up happening is Jacob ended up getting with Raul and Mr. Cantu, and it ended up being to where Jacob could ship horses directly to slaughter, and we started doing them as privately owned horses, which was fantastic. But as I say it was fantastic, it was also a burden because it made the horses become a bigger thing. Like, Jacob used to buy 20 horses a week and they all went to slaughter. Well, now Jacob buys 60 horses a week. And I'll be really honest, right now in today's market, we don't have to ship a lot of horses to slaughter. There's no point in lying to people about it. Like, that we do have some, and at this point there's several people around here that trade a lot of horses, and we will all get together and be like, I have 5, we have 5, they have 10, and we can create a load that way, because let's be honest, the market is really high. Basically, what does go to slaughter are horses that are suffering, horses that are really not broke. And you know what? I've gotten to where I've been able to shop a little bit through other people's sometimes, like, Miguel is a horse that one of the other traders bought, and when he got him home, he didn't really like him, and for whatever reason, Miguel fought him pretty bad, and he thought Miguel was like a complete psychopath. So he tagged him with a green tag and was going to mix him with a load of killers. We had a couple to go, and Jacob ended up swapping him weight for a horse that weighed a little more so that I could bring Miguel here, and Miguel has turned into a fabulous horse. So not everybody has the monetary resources like I do with Facebook monetization and with the Wild Tribe After Hours. 90% of horse traders don't have the money to correct a horse like Miguel. He didn't really need correcting. He just needed training. He didn't need correcting. He was sold at the sell barn as a horse that was bomb proof. That guy thought he could buy him and turn around and trade on him. Got him home. He's not bomb proof. He's young. He's only 4. He's really, he's a lot, basically. And so that horse just needs 120 days of training. He needs 6 months of training, and he will be fantastic. And 99.9% of horse traders do not have the financial means to be able to put 6 months into a horse because they can't get it back out of them. And the only reason I can do it is because of you guys. My Facebook monetization, the stars, the Wild Tribe After Hours, it's the only reason that I have the financial means to not be stressed out when a horse is not exactly what we thought it was. I don't have to be stressed out about horses like that we take off of somebody that just need to be completely improved. Like, I want you guys to know that, like, I'm not a whole lot without my following. Jacob obviously buys the horses. He owns them. He's the one that owns everything. And my bank account is solely made up of Facebook monetization and board money. And that's it. I make no other money. So what I have to do is to make sure my Facebook monetization and my board money can not only pay all of my staff, my overhead, but I also have to be able to take care of the horses that I told Jacob, hey, this horse won't cost you money. Like, your operating capital is already tied up in it. Please let me put time into it. And the only reason I get a yes from him is because I have Facebook monetization. So I really need you guys, please join the Wild Tribe After Hours. That group did more for me than anything. It gave me money to do things that I never had the money to do before. The stars give me money to do more than I've ever done before. And please, I know this sounds really crazy, but start liking and sharing my videos. Let's try to build my JT Livestock page to over 100,000. I'm at 78,000 followers and I really would like to be over 100,000, please. But the only way that's going to happen is you guys can go up to the top to community, start sharing, like, share this video, share it on your pages, like, be like, you know, just whatever. Make sure when you share it, no, you have to work your ass off to be monetized by Facebook. You have to have over 10,000 followers. You have to do so much live content. It's a lot. Like, they start giving you little bits of monetization, like paid events and stuff like that in the very beginning. But to be fully monetized by Facebook, you have to jump through hoops, do cartwheels, and beg. So it was such a blessing. I have this page fully monetized and the Tara Michelle Sanders page is getting there. I just need commercial revenue over there, which if I can get my commercial revenue over there, it'll probably boost that page to where it could make easy 5 figures a year. But I have to get that and I'm working hard. So anyway, please make sure that you like, comment, follow, but the sharing, and please make sure that at the community tab on the Tara Michelle Sanders page and the JT Livestock page, there is a tab at the top that says community, and it allows you to share or invite your friends. Please make sure that you invite your friends. Also, our group, JT Livestock Company, that's free. Please make sure that you go there, and please make sure that you go to the community tab, go down and invite as many friends as you can. And every time you have 5 minutes, invite 50 more people. Let's try to just invite as many people around us as we know, because the bigger that my social medias get, the more I can help the horses. And that's the truth. I'm to that point to where, like, we're trying to continue to grow, but it takes money. It takes money to make money. But you have to be making money to be able to support this overhead. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for everything that you guys do for me. I also love that I have been focusing on my mental health since I had COVID last year, and I've been going to therapy. I have a life coach and a therapist. They are not the same person, and it's been amazing. And I have just started to surround myself by much better people that constantly try to help me stay out of the mud. And I just need to remember that old habits die hard. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm perfect. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to rant on Facebook and yell and cuss and scream, because old habits die hard. But I can tell you that I've done everything that I can to get myself out of the mud, to get my child out of the mud. And I love that people say in person, wow, you guys conduct yourself so professional. Your horses look amazing. Like, we can't believe in person just how professional. And like, I sent my horses to the sale, and like I said, several people made comments that our horses brought more. Like, if you had 2 horses standing there of the exact same caliber, mine brought more than another horse of the same caliber. And so what that allows us to do is to take that money and wrap it up into other horses. We bought horses at that sale that I knew, like, those horses could do better, be better, but they need to be groomed. They need their teeth floated. The vet comes tomorrow. We have 5 horses that need sponsored. I'm going to post a little fundraiser. The vet has worked it out. It's $164. I just round up because of tax and sedation to $175. But listen, that's a teeth float, a sheath clean or a hoo-ha clean, and a tit clean, and tube worming with both Panacure and ivermectin. And we have 5 horses that came in, and people used to tell me, why don't you guys do it before you sell them? I didn't have the money to. I didn't have the money to do these things before I sold them. I didn't have the money. I was too broke to do it. But now I have you guys and Facebook monetization and a really great vet, and I think it is so important. And we're just trying to do as many of them as we can. I can't do all of the kill horses, but I can do as many of the traders. Every single horse that went to Atala had a vaccine record, teeth float, osteopath, the works. They had probably $500 worth of stuff done, and we listed it on a laminated sheet taped to their stall along with their catalog page and their photographs, and I laminated those things, and they were taped to the front of the stalls. The horses were show sheened, their faces were baby oiled, their feet were painted. My horses looked fantastic. Good morning, Amanda. You didn't call me yesterday. Can you call me your bestie when I had a scheduled best friend call? So I also have a YouTube. It's the Horse Trader's Diary. I'm the Horse Trader's Diary on TikTok and on Instagram. JT Livestock Co. also has an Instagram that I didn't know that we had, and it's linked to my Facebook page, and it's got so much good stuff. So just go to Instagram, JT Livestock Company, the Horse Trader's Diary, Tara Michelle Sanders. Please try to follow me on as many platforms as possible so we can stay connected, because I'm just trying to grow my social media presence in a